Welcome to Spooky News from Spooky Ventures for June 21st, 2019. This is kind of a cool one because since it's the solstice, depending on whether you're watching this earlier in the morning when I first post it or later in the morning, it will depend on whether you're watching it in the spring or the summer. Of course, those of you in Australia don't have an option. It's going to get posted in your winter since you're at the opposite side of the planet. But in any event, welcome to the new edition of Spooky News, and we'll get right on it. News of a UFO sighting over Area 51 in Roswell, New Mexico has been making the rounds. You know we can't do a Spooky News segment without UFOs, it seems. In any event, you can check out the footage and all kinds of stuff all over the place. Personally, my thought on Roswell, New Mexico is that, particularly Area 51 sightings, is that that's a secret military base. My guess is when people see things there, it's some sort of testing of new military technology that's top secret. But I could be wrong. Go check it out for yourself. In a slightly different twist on the whole UFO thing, USA Today has published a list of states with the most UFO reports. Now, the data was taken from 2001 to 2015, so during that period of time, and they've got a certain methodology, they explain it all in their article, but there's a list of which states have the most UFO reports and which states have the least. So you can look up the article. I'll have the link on the details for the video and see where your state lands. I think my state of Illinois, I think comes in around 38. The metal band Ghost have just released a new video. I sort of hesitate to call it a music video, although we've included it in our playlist under spooky music videos. The reason I say that is that it's a lot more just theatrical piece than it is music video. There is some music in it, but not really a song, so to speak. The video is obviously a play on the movie The Shining, so it could be fun for people who are fans of that film to check it out. In any event, it's kind of a cool thing. The theme for the new Child's Play movie has been released on YouTube. You'll find that under our spooky music playlist at Spooky Ventures here. And it's really creepy. It features some pretty bizarre vocals from none other than Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill. So be sure to check that out. It's just kind of what you'd expect, I think, in terms of a modern take on the old school horror film themes. Last week I had news about the video game Midnight Ghost Hunt. It appears there's another video game that's quite similar. in the works called Darkfall Ghost Vigil. Well, at least it sounds similar. I'm sure it's probably different. But in any event, in that game, you're a ghost hunter locked inside a haunted mansion overnight, and you've got all kinds of gear to try to find the ghosts and eliminate them, I'm guessing. But it's in the process of development right now, so there's no specific date on when it'll be out, but there is a website for it, so you can get more information. Since the last edition of Spooky News, we've unleashed 4 new designs in our Cafe Press store. They're Creepy Crawlers Part 2, and you can find the links. There'll be a link for it in the description for this video, but you'll also see some samples of the collection at the main site at spookyventures.com, and if you click on the text above and below those, you'll get taken to the main store, so you can look around, find lots of cool Keep It Spooky merchandise. For people of a certain age, R.L. Stine really kind of stands for horror, at least the kid variety of horror. And there's a new graphic novel going to be coming out May of next year from R.L. Stine called Just Beyond the Horror at Happy Landings, which is going to be about aliens, apparently body snatching aliens, actually at a campground. So that should be a real thrill for people who like R.L. Stine's stuff. Like I said, that'll be May of next year. On Tuesday, our partners, Tales of Wonder and Dread Publishing, published this book, which is by yours truly. It is essentially a photography book of a couple of cemeteries in Rockford, Illinois. And you see it has packed full of black and white pictures of the 2 cemeteries, which is Arlington Memorial Park Cemetery and Union Cemetery. And for the second one, or for the first of those, Arlington Memorial Park Cemetery, there's also a feature on a notable burial there, which is Hal Carlson, who was a member of the Chicago Cubs at one point. So that's brand new. You can check it out. There'll be a link on the Spooky Ventures main page. Also, lulu.com/strangesound will be where you can find it. Fans of Joe Bob Briggs should be pleased. His horror movie show, The Last Drive-In, has been renewed for a second season at Shudder. So if you enjoy that show, you will be happy you're going to get new episodes. Fans of The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix should be pleased because there's going to be a second season of that one, and it starts filming in September. So you got that to look forward to. A new trailer has been released for Ridley Scott's AMC series, The Terror. It's the second season, and it bears the title The Infamy, and it's a Japanese ghost story, and a lot of it centers around internment camp in World War II. So that should be pretty interesting. George Takei is in it, and that's an added bonus. It's going to start on AMC on August 12th. But like I say, you can see the trailer now. I mentioned the Banana Splits movie last week and talked about the trailer. They've released dates for when it comes out to home video. It's actually not going to the theaters. Apparently, at some point, it's going to be on television on the Sci Fi Network. But it's going to be available on digital platforms on August 13th, and DVD and Blu ray come out 2 weeks later on the 27th of August. So that will be your chance to see the movie. I know a lot of people are getting kind of up in arms about the trailer and all their childhood memories and stuff, but I say let's wait and see what we get with the movie. It could be a lot of fun. It could also be a disaster. Who knows? If you've been hiding under a rock, you may have missed it, but there's a new trailer for the Stephen King sequel to The Shining, Doctor Sleep. It's kind of interesting in that apparently the director has tried to combine the book and the movie, which were quite different. In fact, Stephen King didn't like the original Shining, and apparently there's a compromise in this movie that has gotten both Stephen King and the Shining people on board to approve of it. And what I found really interesting in watching the trailer, there's some scenes that look like they're taken straight out of The Shining. Other than one of them with the blood on the elevator, he reshot each and every one of these. When you see them side by side, you can tell the difference. But honestly, it really looks like it could have come out of Kubrick's The Shining. According to Bloody Disgusting, a prequel movie for the Amityville Horror has been announced. It's going to be called Amityville 1974, and it's going to start production later this year. Now let's look at some movies coming to theaters. First off, I know I mentioned that video for the Child's Play theme song. Well, yeah, that is online, so you can check out the theme song there, but the movie itself opens in theaters today, so that gives you another opportunity to check out the theme song and the whole movie. Also, in an odd little Tuesday release date, Annabelle Comes Home comes out on next Tuesday. So you'll get a chance to see that movie starting next week. Remember, you can always check out our calendar at spookyventures.com. Just scroll down toward the bottom of the page, and you'll see, sort of in the middle, you'll see the calendar. There's an image of it, and you just click on the image, it brings up the calendar. We've got dates for birth dates for famous actors from horror movies and writers and things like that. We've also got movie release dates that we try to keep as up to date as possible. So it's a good way to find all the movie release dates for the horror genre anyway. So be sure and check that out. And that's a wrap for this week. We hope to see you again next week. Don't forget, if you've got anything you want to see featured on Spooky News, or if you've got any other video you want to send our way, be sure to contact us at keepitspooky@spookyventures.com. And we'll see you next week. Spooky Ventures is the home for spooky content and spooky merchandise on the web. Check it out today at spookyventures.com. And remember, always keep it spooky.